What's up everybody? Today we have a very nice kitchen gadget for you, something you probably haven't considered but you probably want. So if you like to cook, this is for you. Today we have a frozen meat slicer and a cutter deli slicer for meats, potatoes, carrots, any thick vegetable or a frozen meat item. It's adjustable. We're gonna put it to the test. Stay tuned for the whole video. The slicer comes pretty much assembled right out of the box. The only thing you need to do is attach the feet for suction so it doesn't move around as you're cutting. The hardness of the meat that you're going to be slicing has to be frozen for 48 hours under -4 to -15 Celsius. This is a protective film. We just haven't taken it off yet, but it is a stainless steel finish. So first we're going to put our feet on. Here's one foot. You can see that there's a hole right there, so we just go right through the hole with the provided screw and tighten it up with an Allen key. So there's one here, one there, one here, one here. Put a little water underneath if you're concerned. There you go. Now it doesn't move. So now to lift this up, you simply lift this up. Now the blade is located right here. They did provide you with a spare blade that is underneath there. And there's two of them. Now remove the plastic. Now I guarantee you're gonna lose your mind trying to remove all that plastic wrapper. That's because it's a very silly thing they did is they basically wrapped the plastic on the main base and then they screwed everything on top. So all the bolts and everything is over the plastic. That's kind of why it makes it so hard to do it. But anyway, plastic's off mostly. So here's a piece of sausage. It's super frozen. We're gonna stick this right over here. This is what holds the meat in place. There are these spikes here. And remember, your meat must be frozen. If it's soft, it's going to be very hard to cut. If it's frozen, it's not going to be hard to cut at all. The blade can be sharpened. There's a thin and thick blade. You remove this with this or tighten it. There's a guard. So again, this is how you adjust for the thickness of the meat, right? Because then the protective blade moves back and forth. And then let's show you how this works. So now it's thicker, see? Now if you want to make it thinner, we just tighten this a little more and bring the guard closer to the blade. And now thinner. So thin, thin, thick. So you can control and vary it. Now this will not just work with meat, but veggies as well. All right, so we remove the plastic, we push the blade a little further, and now slice. Now the cucumber is a little soft, but it's still hard, so it still makes it easy to make nice slices. And if we want a thinner slice, like I said, we just tighten these knobs counterclockwise. This will push this guard closer to the blade, therefore creating thinner slices. See? So here's the thickness, and then this is the other thickness. All right, so in addition to the frozen meat, what else can you cut up with this? Well, we have this frozen salmon that we're gonna go and test out. Yams, potatoes, onions, even tomatoes like these that are nice and somewhat solid, and of course cucumbers and carrots. So any solid food is going to be sliced with this deli counter and meat counter cutter. You can see how nice and quick everything is moving. So whether you're creating stir fry or making sushi or preserving this in these little containers for later, perfect. So now we're gonna take the salmon, put a lid on it, and we're gonna just put it on the side. Next, let's taste out this yam. So yams are actually really thick, as you guys know. So let's see how well this handles. We're not gonna peel it normally we would. So if you wanna make fries or chips even, this is absolutely amazing for you to use. So it is cutting it. I'm gonna show you. But here are the slices. Not the best, but if you have a lot of tomatoes to go through, maybe something you may want to do. And again, we're just gonna go and store these in our trusty containers. And finally, let's test out our onion. And there you go. And again, we're gonna put this in with our tomatoes for later. And there you go. So whether you're making salads, making meal prep, or making frozen veggies or salmon for later, this slicer pretty much does it all. And what I would do is I would essentially just create all my food for the week, use these little containers with lids, which are stackable, stick them in my freezer, and have everything that I absolutely need for my cooking. This way you keep all the nutrients, you make yourself very efficient, everything is nice and quick. Couldn't ask for anything more. This is the slicer. thanks for watching, and then I'll see you guys on the next one.